What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Serie Addicts here in the We Kick Balls channel. Here to give a recap of Matchday 20 in the Serie A. Finally, just have one match day to talk about. So we'll
Yeah.
talk a little bit about some of the interesting stuff happening in the market so far, or what can
Is
potentially happen in the
is
market
there
so far.
interesting stuff happening in the market? Not a lot
Not
of
that
movement
much.
so far.
We're unfortunately not as far as Serie A.
Yeah.
Um, one or two good things happening for some teams, but not a whole lot, unfortunately, for many teams, especially those that are struggling, like the Fiorentinas of the world. Even though they have been getting better results, which we'll talk about today, about their performance against Milan in match day 20. Had some good games. Obviously, the key matchup, Napoli Inter, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how Juventus just bullied Cremonese around the pitch,
Yeah.
and a couple of other interesting results of very interesting match day in Serie A that, if anything, Tito, I feel it just made it a lot more competitive, especially at the top of the table.
Yeah, for sure. Particularly with that draw at the top, right? That was the best possible result for everybody else other than Napoli and Inter. So, but let's I guess kick it off with the first game of that match day, which was Como and Bologna.
Como
Before we get
Bologna,
into that,
right? One of
yeah,
the key matchups for this match day. Uh, well, kind of what we expected, right? Two teams that are very similar, I would say, right now,
yeah,
uh, as far as the level of play. Bologna have been struggling as of late, have dropped a couple of points in the last couple of match days. Como hit a hurdle, but have actually picked it up in the last couple of matches, just getting back on the winning track for the Fabregas crew. 1-1 draw. There was a red card in the match for Bologna in the 60th minute. Nicolo
yeah.
Cambiaghi, who also
Cambiaghi was
scored
sent off.
the goal for Bologna and the first goal of the match in the 49th minute.
Yeah.
But I said pretty even matchup, kind of what I expected from both these sides, given right the results and what they showed this season so far.
Bro, what a stupid red card by Cambiaghi. I mean, like in the age of VAR, bro, like how do you lift your elbow like that? Like it's not only gonna be a red card, but you're gonna be suspended now, probably a minimum of 5 games. Like you basically just shot your season, Cambiaghi, like an idiot. Like there's a lot of ways to get back at people. Scoring another one would have been a great one, but you know what I mean? Uh but not
No,
that way.
I
That
get it.
was dumb.
Sometimes I think about that, like how do players like even think about trying some of the stuff that they try in the age of VAR, where you know that shit's gonna get played back, and if there's any proof, they got it in 73 different angles,
Yeah,
so there's
exactly.
no way you could hide it.
Yeah, bro. Not
Something
only
like
that,
that.
if like if VAR
I don't know
doesn't
if you
catch
saw
it,
the Pulisic goal where he
if VAR
used
doesn't catch it,
his
the
hand.
fans will catch it with a cell phone and then they're gonna share it online and it's gonna be a whole thing, you know. But yeah,
But Cambiaghi, coming back from injury, right? Certainly, you felt the impact in Bologna. I feel that's why Bologna kind of dropped a couple of points in the last couple of match days, right? Unfortunate for him, he comes back, scores a good goal, right? I want to say it was an awesome goal, but a good play from him getting into the box and scoring a solid goal for
yeah,
Bologna to put them ahead. But then has to go and mess things up and getting red carded and completely changing the match for his team and making it very difficult for them to walk away not only with 3 points but with any points against a good Como squad.
yeah. Honestly, Cambiagi's goal kind of showed how Como's weakest point is their defense because like he did some sort of stutter step and the defender was like, "Ugh, I don't know what's happening." You know, he just got
Well,
like a free shot.
we know
Like,
that Como's tactics are right very Spanish team, just keep
yeah,
possession of the ball as much as possible, so their hopes is that they don't have to worry about defending that much.
yeah, bro. But like honestly, like on that play, the the defender was just like I think who was it? It's like Diego Carlos. Diego Carlos, like just like he looked like he looked like his left foot was just like stuck to the floor, and then he just unstuck it like at the last minute. I don't know, man. Like you gotta defend better than that. I think, still, Como will get by on their possession because they don't have to defend that much because they always have the ball.
How much possession did they have in this game? Not that much, right? 56.
58%. Yeah,
You would
sort of.
expect them to have a little bit more possession. I think Nico Pass is going through kind of like a period like Yildiz that has been just hitting the post and the in the crossbar a bunch.
Yeah, but Yildiz
On
scored in the last couple matches.
But unlucky for Nico Pass is the post on a great shot. But then they are able to get the equalizer in the 95th minute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Baturina,
Madurina.
uh, Martin Baturina, certainly Italian, for sure. But pretty good
Probably not
strike, pretty good goal
Argentino.
from him. Uh, Como, I think, like Inter, is one of those squads where they can
Yeah,
get goals from a lot of different positions. I think that's
yeah,
one of the things that make Como a dangerous squad as well.
yeah. Baturina's goal was amazing. Like it's just a very nice one of those goals where you're coming back into your strong foot and just basically
Oh,
curling it
perfectly
in.
strike. One of the goals that you practice a bunch of times.
Just beautiful.
Uh, Top bins.
Yeah.
Just a pretty nice goal for him, especially in the 95th minute
To
to
tie
tie the
to get
game
some
up for your
points, to
team.
get like at least a point out
You
of the
would
thing.
think, right? Como playing a man up from the 60th minute, you would expect them to turn that around. So just goes to show, right? Props to Bologna for at the very least making it hard for Como to even
Yeah.
walk out of there with a win. Hopefully, lesson learned from Cambiaghi again, just coming back from injury. Hopefully uh, he does better next time, stays on the pitch, and I feel they probably would have gotten the win if it wasn't for Cambiaghi getting red carded the way he
Yeah.
did.
And one thing I want to add is Martin Baturina is actually Croatian. Just so before
Okay,
people, he's
I would
Croatian.
have not guessed that, to be honest.
Yes, he is Croatian, 22 years old, young talent from Croatia. Pretty talented, as you could see by that nice curling shot.
A lot of talent coming in from Croatia. Maybe we're starting to see that next generation right now that
Yeah,
we're getting past the Luka Modric age, right? Definitely some good talent, especially in the midfield with Kovacic, right? With Brozovic, all the different talented players that they have. So maybe it's the new era, right? Sušić is a pretty good talent as well, very young, playing for Inter. Has been productive for Inter thus far. So gonna be interesting to see that new crop of Croatian talent develop over the next couple of years.
yeah.
Then we
So,
have another draw in the next matchup. We had Udinese 2-2 draw against Pisa.
yep,
This one pretty back and forth, right? We had Tramoni score for Pisa in the
that was a
13th
good
minute.
goal too. That was a rocket. That was just like he took it from the edge of the box, and I don't know if it deflected off of somebody. It kind of felt like it did, but he hit that one hard. He hit it real hard.
It didn't look like it was deflected by anybody, but a great strike,
Yeah,
right from right the edge outside the box or right in the edge of the box. Similar to the goal we saw in the previous match. I think the other one was a little bit better because it was this one was a little bit more towards the middle. The other
yeah.
one was top bins,
That was like a
but still,
curler, and this one was more of like a outside of the foot, kind of like outswinging power shot. It was pretty good strike too, but yeah, like you said, the other one was just like more technical, artistic.
and we didn't have to wait long for a response from Udinese.
Yeah,
Cavacele with a great header from a corner.
like six
Uh,
minutes out.
no shot at all for the goalkeeper on this one when it's that close and the ball is coming at that pace. Such a powerful header. There is unless it's hitting some part of your body, there's nothing that the goalkeeper can do in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. He was just
And
like
then
two
we had
steps
another
away.
penalty
Yep.
called in the area, and this one was kind of a clear foul on Laris. Udinese scores the pen. It was Davis. Good to see him in the score sheet. I think Davis. It's another interesting player who's definitely got the size. He's strong. He's quick. He's kind of had that got that young Lukaku build. Right. I think obviously he needs to sharpen his skills, get a little bit better at finishing as a finisher.
Dude, what was
But I think
Leris doing
he's another.
there? Like, what was he thinking? Like in that play for the penalty, he was like just the ball was
Probably
coming
just
in
trying
high,
to deflect the ball, right? I
but
mean,
the ball's
there's
coming.
not a whole
Oh,
lot
the
that
ball
he could
is
have done there.
coming high, and he slides in it like towards his feet. Like, how does that work? He was not gonna get the ball sliding like that. What the hell was he trying to do? I don't get it. That was like dumb.
Very, I gotta say, very cool, calm, and collected pen for Davis as well.
Yeah.
I
He was
definitely
lucky the
appreciate it.
goalkeeper guessed wrong, because otherwise it's gonna be a terrible, very easy to save penalty because he hit it really soft. But yeah, like he kept
But
his cool.
he waited to see where the goalkeeper was gonna
Yeah.
dive,
Yeah, he did that.
and then just pretty much did a pass on the other side. But right, it's risky. It's risky
Hmm.
because there are some goalkeepers that are very good at just kind of confusing players that have that kind of technique. So you got to be a master at Jorginho, right? At that kind of technique to be able to pull it off. But in this
Yeah.
situation, I would think that someone like Davis would not have the confidence to take the pen like that. And the fact that
Did a
he
good
stepped
job.
up pretty cool, pretty calm and collected, and was able to put it past the goalkeeper the way he did was pretty cool to see for him.
Yeah.
And then
Pisa
we had
got them right back. Yeah.
yeah,
Then
with Meister
yeah.
or probably Meister.
Meister.
But again, very back and forth match on this
Yeah.
one, which I would have expected probably Udinese to have a little bit of the advantage going into this match. But
Bro,
Pisa
both
again,
teams.
one of
Another
these
crazy
teams that
thing I
are
was gonna
coming up
say. The
are
the
cake.
both teams hit the crossbar and the post. Like both Pisa and Udinese, after the two goals, also hit the crossbar and the post in this match. This is a very lively match. Sorry, go on.
And probably super entertaining. This is one
Yeah,
match that I would have definitely liked to see live because again, not only back and forth, but they had both teams had a ton of other opportunity to score more goals. Some good saves from both keepers as well.
yeah,
So it looked like a pretty entertaining match. 2-2 draw, which is doesn't really benefit either team based on their current positions in the table. But surprising again, in my opinion, for Pisa, I did not expect Pisa to come out with any points out of this one, and some good goals scored. So it was surprisingly pleasant to see how this match played out.
yeah. I mean, Udinese won't be happy with the result for sure. Pisa is probably a team that they would have expected to beat when they were looking at the calendar. So they'll be bitter for having let Pisa come back in after, they were able to turn the result around. So I mean, must be frustrating for Udinese at least because they were expecting much better result against a much smaller organization.
And a couple of wasted opportunities. They could have definitely uh, walked away with the 3 points. Davis missed a sitter,
Yeah,
probably like 2 yards away from goal.
yeah, he was
So
right in front of it, man. Like he sent it
he would
over.
definitely want to have that one back, but missed opportunity. Good for Pisa for picking up the point. Udinese is still struggling to get their foothold this season, but I think good performance for both teams overall. Just gotta take advantage of those sitters and those kind of opportunities moving forward.
Yeah, 100%.
Then we had Roma Sassuolo, who have has been historically an interesting matchup. Unfortunately for Sassuolo on this one, Roma walked away with all 3 points with a 2-0 victory. Another bad performance by Sassuolo, who
They've been
have been
struggling
doing
lately.
well this season, but as of late have been dropping a lot of points, and not only dropping a lot of points but struggling to score goals, which is surprising because that was another team that they would get goals from a lot of different players.
Yeah. They had very little of the ball. And did you see that play in the beginning where basically the goalkeeper was out of his goal and then Sassuolo missed a very early chance to go ahead, you know? They
Yeah,
just threw
that
it
was a
out.
sitter. I don't know. I don't know how you get paid millions of dollars and you can't chip the goalkeeper in that
Yeah,
kind of situation.
yeah, he could have done better with that one for
Because
sure.
the keeper's positioning was terrible on that play.
Yeah. And then the rest of the game, Roma was basically, I'm not gonna let you see the ball. And then they had like 64% of it. Sassuolo, you know, they couldn't really do anything after that chance.
Yeah, but still kind of struggling, right, to score goals. Yeah, they got
Yep.
2 goals on the board, right? But you got one from Kone, who's not your usual scorer. I think one of the better, if not the best player for Roma this season,
Yeah,
right?
Kone
Their
is
defense
awesome.
has have been solid as well, but Kone, that was one of the missed opportunities last transfer market for Inter that I was kind of disappointed on, honestly, more than the Lukman kind of saga and drama, because
Yeah,
he's showing his worth in the Roma squad yet again this season. Has been playing awesome. Scores a very nice header for Roma, and then Sule's goal, right?
that was beautiful.
Very comfortable goal. Very nice back heel touch to set it up.
Yeah, very nice team
Um,
play on that one, like from
but
Roma, like
again,
very
you
flowy.
you have 2 goals for Roma, not scored by the center forwards, right? So
Yeah,
we've been saying it, right? I feel that's the only kind of big and glaring gap that's Roma have in their squad
yeah,
right now is
and they're
just
trying to
a
fix that.
world class striker.
They're trying to fix that in the transfer market right now, because right now, they don't really have a lot of options up front, right? They have El Shaarawy, they got Ferguson, but they need like a number nine. Like they need a number nine, like desperately. They don't have anybody that they can use to anchor their offensive play. And so that's why sometimes they struggle to break down defenses because you're missing that guy that you could put in the middle, like there, and just like lean on him to pull the defenders and then dish off, to the other quicker players you got running around them. But they don't have that anchor right now. So it means that Dybala, Sule, these types of players, they all have to basically take their man on and then pass it behind for midfielders and other types of players who are coming in because you don't have that presence in the box. That's just the way it works for Roma right now. But at least they're able to do it against Sassuolo and, looking good in the standings still.
That I think Roma would be actually a good fit for Blaovic.
Probably. Yeah, you're not wrong there, but they're just not
It's
gonna
that
dish
type
out
of
money.
player. No.
Hmm.
And another one in Serie A that I feel would be amazing. Like imagine a Roma squad with like Moise King uh, up front.
No, no, we don't like that.
Yeah,
Nobody wants that.
for the
But
rest
yeah,
of Serie A, want nothing to do with that. But yeah,
yeah,
missing that central figure up front that could get him consistent goals. Hopefully, they make something happen in the transfer market. Otherwise, honestly, I feel it's gonna be very difficult for Roma, not only to keep up with some of the other teams at the top of the table, but to really contend for the title this season without a
yeah, it's
striker.
gonna be hard.
It's gonna be very hard, especially as Napoli get some of their players back.
Yeah,
Right, Milan not having European competition, Juve starting to kind of figure it out and play a little bit better. It's gonna be interesting. We have Inter still some injuries, right? Dumfries has been out for an extended period of times. Um, he's a big miss, but yeah, they need to get something done. So hopefully Gasperini and Roma can pull some magic and get the striker that they desperately need to contend for a title
Yeah.
this season.
The rumor is that they're negotiating Xerxes, but that's always a rumor. Like every transfer window, somebody's trying to get Xerxes. So I don't believe it. A lot of journalists in Italy just make up shit. Like they have no information,
Content.
nobody's confirmed anything, and they're just like they say voci, voci indicano, and that means voices are saying or basically are indicating who are these fucking voices? Like you don't ever say
Yeah,
who the voices.
voices
These
inside
voices
your
in your
head.
head, you
Yeah,
idiots. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how they do that. And they'll make up like just ridiculous stories. We already talked a little bit about that in our last episode, so I'm not gonna revisit that. But it was a good win for Roma, and Kone and Sule were both very good pickups by Roma management. Especially Kone, I think they're gonna get a couple big offers for that player this summer for sure.
probably. I think Inter missed out, and they may have missed out on any chance of getting him in the future with
Yeah,
what
it's gonna
happened
be
in the last
expensive
transfer
now.
window. But I don't even think Cersei would be a good fit at Roma because he's got kind of more outside kind of player, Pulisic style, Lukman style, Dybala style,
Yeah,
where
so
he's
so
not
is
gonna.
Moise Kean. If you think about it, Moise Kean is also like a player that likes running at the defense versus playing with his back to the goal.
That's what I think. Like when I think what they really need, it's like a Vlahovic type.
Or like a Lukaku type player, like somebody like
Yeah,
that who's
somebody
like a
that can
hold
play
up,
hold up play, Turam,
yeah,
right?
target man, like a big guy.
Yeah, I agree, and it sucks because you thought that, and they probably thought that Ferguson was gonna be that player for them because he has that build, has some of those qualities, but
Yeah.
he's just not been able to consistently perform uh,
It's
this
gotta be a
season for Roma.
beast in the Serie A, bro, because like you're running into defenders that look like Baschirotto, and that dude has got like some guns. So if you're gonna be in the box fighting that type of dude in the Serie A, because every defender in the Serie A is like goes to the gym, so you're gonna
But
get beat
that's
up.
what that but that's what's funny sometimes because you go into some forums and just people that don't know it, Serie A, and you can tell don't watch Serie A. They're like, oh, well, Lautaro, and when they talk about like strikers that play in Serie A, is yeah, but he's doing it in Serie A, and it's like, dude, if you listen to players like Ibrahimovic that have played in
Yeah,
Italy,
Ronaldo.
in the Premiership, in La Liga, and you ask them what's the hardest league for a striker to like perform and do well and score a ton of goals, they all say it's the Serie A.
Yeah, it's the most defensive, the tactically defensive league, and it's very physical in that sense, right? There's other leagues that are like more physical in the sense that the players are faster or more gifted physically, but in terms of tactically and how the teams get organized, like Serie A has got the most tactically organized teams. That's why a lot of the greatest managers are from Italy too. It's a fact. It's always been
Yeah,
like
but
that.
it's kind of a myth for people to think, oh no, you see, he's doing that, but he's doing it in Italy. It's like, hey, we would be in another league, he would be doing the same or better.
Everybody that leaves the Serie A and goes somewhere else, like if you're an offensive player, you're typically gonna score more goals wherever you go because it's a more open game everywhere else, especially in Spain, where like people are not really thinking about defending. Everybody's trying to have the ball and attack and press. So
But it's one of the reasons why I think the Cersei thing, to your point, is complete bullshit. Because Man United, they sent McTominay to Napoli, ends up being the player of the season, right? And helps them win the Scudetto. Now Hoyland joins Napoli, and he's freaking doing awesome. That now for lately for Napoli, it's like okay, Lukaku's missing, but Hoyland is doing so great that
doing well. Not well
luckily they
enough that
have
they could beat
included them.
Inter, but well.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that. That matchup. Definitely a couple of other things that went into play there. But the next one on the docket is Lecce Parma. This one was a 2-1 victory for Parma. Own goal by Gabriel for Parma. Goal by Pellegrino in the 72nd minute. Stulic and Banda, who
First, bro.
Banda got. What's
Tulic
up?
scored in the first minute. Like, how did
I
that
didn't
happen?
see that goal. Was it a defensive mistake?
You mean
It's
Lecce's
actually
go?
a pretty good ball into the box and good finish from Stalic, turning around and finishing. That was
Yeah, but
actually a pretty good
it's
goal from him.
crazy how like it basically took him a minute to score. But yeah, like a pretty good play down the left side and then cross into the box. And I don't know. I think they caught the defender sleeping, but Parma was
Uh,
able
so
to turn it
so,
around,
so
like you were saying.
that early in the game, right? You're still kind of
Yeah,
loading.
he's booting.
Probably that played a little bit into it, but still, right? Get caught sleeping 1 minute into the match. Definitely a sign of Parma this season. Um, but they are able to turn it around though. Even though they started they lost Lecce lost Banda. Banda got red carded in the
Yeah,
57th minute,
pretty
and it seemed
crazy, pretty crazy slide there. Like he could have broken his shin in two pieces.
that was pretty bad. Like
Yeah, it's
ankle
ugly.
could have gone.
Yep.
Yeah, it was definitely a red card challenge. No doubt about it. And you can tell with his reaction, he knew that was a game for him basically, and essentially that kind of switched things around for Parma. After that, Parma was able to turn things around to get the 2-1 victory with an own goal for Gabriel. So you not only get
Yeah.
somebody red carded, right, but you have another one of your players score an own goal, and then Pellegrino in this 72nd minute sealing things up for Parma to get the
Yeah.
the 2-1 victory.
Two goals from set pieces for Parma. They also hit the post and the crossbar. Um, so they could have extended their lead when they had the one man advantage. And then they ended up getting a two-man advantage because I forget who the player was, but he
Uh,
kicked
Kia, Kialonda Gaspar
he
got red
kicked
carded in the
somebody in the
93rd minute.
freaking stomach, bro. Like he basically kicked him in the stomach, like crazy. That was crazy. But yeah, that's how it went.
I will talk about another kick to the stomach that had a little bit of a different result in another match over this last match day.
Yeah.
But 2-1 victory for Parma, regardless of whether Lecce went a man down and then two players down at the end of the game. Good victory for Parma on
Hey,
this one.
hold on, bro. We forgot to talk about Atalanta Torino on Saturday. I think we skipped that match. That one was on Saturday, and we're talking about Lecce Parma, and we haven't talked about Atalanta Torino, I think, where Atalanta ended up getting the win 2-0 against Torino. And that was actually the last match of that day. Right?
I believe so. And we skipped right over, which actually was a good matchup. I actually caught quite a bit of this game
Yeah.
live, just because Atalanta is always interesting to see, but Torino have been starting to play a little bit better and
Yep.
more like I expected before the start of the season. But a good victory for Atalanta, right? De Catelare, which I feel is an awesome talent, has always been an awesome talent. I just think he was way too young for the expectations they had on him when he signed with Milan and joined Milan. But has kind of been finding himself and growing every season with Atalanta, great playmaker, and now he gotten a lot better at finishing and scoring goals as well. Definitely one of the players that I enjoy watching from that squad for sure.
Yeah,
But
very
two,
entertaining.
it was a very entertaining match, like I expected. I had it in the background, and I ended up watching almost the entire match. Um, Outlier because Torino played well. I wouldn't say that it was completely one sided for Atalanta on this one. Just Atalanta has been playing better. They have the better players on paper, and they got the 2-0 victory on this one.
Yeah, it felt also like they were creating the better chances on the final third. I think like Torino weren't able to kind of break Atalanta's final third, whereas they did have a couple of corner, like a, and they had a shot from a corner there where the goalkeeper, was lucky that the ball went right on top of him. But apart from that, Atalanta also had a couple of really good chances where they could have put the game away like a lot earlier than the 95th. Torino had a breakaway opportunity, which the striker
Yeah, for
completely messed up. He
yeah.
definitely should have scored on that one, Simeone.
Simeone should have definitely put that one away.
Yeah, you would have expected him
I
to.
thought the first time I saw that it was an amazing save by Carnesecchi, but then you kind of play it back and it was just
Yeah, it's just a terrible shot.
a
And then
bad shot by Simeone.
on the other end, Pasalic showed him this is how you finish when you
Yeah.
go 1-on-one against
Pasalic
Fiorentina.
with the buzzer beater, right?
Yep,
Last kick of the game, just to leave no doubt for the second
yeah,
goal. Good header by Charlie de Catalare for the opener. Solid victory for Atalanta, who have been playing a lot better. Zalewski has been back for a while. He was injured for a bit. Now kind of has played himself back into kind of a starting spot with the Atalanta squad. I thought I would see more of Samardzic up to this point. To be honest, I thought that Samardzic would have definitely been kind of like a solid number 10 for Atalanta this season. But he's been on the bench for
well,
the last couple of matches.
he was brought under a different coach also, who might have had, a very different idea of how to play, and maybe he's not fitting within Paladino's plans, properly, or it might be different reasons, but that one's probably the one. And the other thing is, I've heard Stamaric associated with transfer rumors as well.
Mm.
There are voices that say that he might be going somewhere. I don't believe them until I see them, but I've read those, made up articles by the Italian journalists who love to make up bullshit just to sell papers and clicks.
But they're pretty deep, right? Because Suleimana was on fire to start the season. Now he's not really almost playing at all. Right?
Hmm.
They didn't have Lukman for this one, right? Because he's still in the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yep.
Um, but still, Zalewski has been playing well since getting back into fitness. The Catalara has been playing well. Kristovic has been playing better. And you have some good options off the bench in Pasalic, in Samardzic. Skamaka has kind of been reborn, right? Has been playing a lot better this
Yeah.
season. So they have a solid squad. They got some options coming up off the bench, so it's going to be interesting to see on not only how Atalanta are able to do for the rest of this season, but also what they can achieve in the Champions League as well.
Yeah. Things are looking a lot better for them, at least. Like they seem to have found a nice kind of rhythm. So let's see where that takes them. Hopefully below US still.
No, I think you are starting to get into form and starting to play a lot better for sure.
Yeah. All right. So Fiorentina Milan is the next match on the
Fiorentina
schedule.
Milan, which is honestly this one was kind of what I expected. Because Milan haven't been performing their best, especially they haven't been scoring a ton of goals. And
And
Fiorentina,
yeah,
they have the player, they have the squad. They just have been doing terrible this season. But these matchups tend to bring the best out of players. So I
yeah.
was expecting this one to be a battle, and it did end up being a battle, a 1-1 draw. So both teams walk away with 1 point. Definitely more beneficial to Fiorentina than Milan, given their standings in the table.
Yeah, I feel Milan would probably feel hard done, at least for
Yeah,
the
no,
first
this
half of
one,
play.
yeah,
They should have scored a lot of goals, especially in the first half. They really had a lot of chances. Magnan got very lucky at the beginning of the second half on that save where the ball went under his legs. That was also very fortunate for him. But definitely, I thought Milan dominated the first half, whereas Fiorentina kind of woke up in the
yep.
beginning of the second half. And then the game started flowing a little bit differently. It was a good goal off of the corner. I think it's a little bit
Gosens, who's
lucky.
another player.
Yeah, it was kind
Yeah,
of a
but
lucky
Gosens,
goal,
who's a
but
player, he had a great season last year. This
yeah,
season hasn't really done much for Fiorentina. So
true.
hopefully he wakes up. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see. But they need they need all the help that they can get.
Yep.
But yeah, Fiorentina kind of turned things around. Tough for them because on
The 90th.
it
Nkunku,
was
man.
Nkunku to
Yeah.
bail out Milan with a great strike. Gotta say it was is a great start and finish. Not a whole lot for De Gea to do on that one, which sucks for him as
Yeah.
well, who had a pretty solid game.
Bro, and
This
then
was
that
another one that I
Fiorentina
saw
shot
live.
off the crossbar. Did you see that, right? Like right
Yep.
after Nkunku's goal, Fiorentina from like the
Yeah,
the
believe me,
the
this
six
was
yard
another one that
box.
I was seeing live, and when I saw
Is
that
that
ball hit the
oh my
crossbar, I'm
God.
like, are you freaking kidding me?
They just had a lot of bad luck. Moise Kean had
Which I
another
would
chance
imagine
as
that is
well.
what everybody in the Fiorentina squad and every Fiorentina fan said the same thing. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. It just things haven't gone their way this season. This is a game they could have won based on what they did on the second half because Milan was really kind of out of it in the second half. The first half they dominated, second half Fiorentina took over. But anyway, 1-1 helps all the other teams except, Milan and Fiorentina. So
I gotta say, Pulisic, man, even though he didn't score on this one, the
he was
dude
everywhere,
is just, and he's at another level right now. He's on one. He like his level
yeah,
of focus,
playing really well.
all the touches, everything that he's doing on the pitch. Um, is just high level right now. I hope that he can keep that going for the U.S. moving into the World Cup,
Yeah, we'll
regardless of
see.
where they take place. Um, but he's been playing awesome versus I think Estupinian, who had a good start. Now is one of those players where Milan really need to think, hey, is he the right option for us in this position? Rabiot, another awesome game. I believe he assisted on the Nkunku goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, he had to come in off the bench because he's still recovering from his injury. But every time he comes in, he shows like,
Difference maker. He's a difference
yeah,
maker.
yeah, that's it.
But Milan, sorry for them. Good for Juve and Inter and everybody else at the top of the table because Milan dropped a couple of points.
Hmm.
So, given the results for other teams, especially Juve, good result for the rest of the top teams in in the Serie A.
Yeah,
But let's see what Milan can do moving forward. They definitely need to turn things around, get back to scoring some more goals. Otherwise, I can see them easily dropping some more points in these next couple of matches if they don't turn things around.
yeah. Well, it
Then we
depends
have
on what the calendar throws at them. But I think they should have a couple of
yeah,
easier matches
they
now. I
don't have any
think.
European football.
Yeah. No, but I mean in terms of the Serie A, like what the Serie A is gonna be throwing at them in the next couple of matches, like that depends. Like
And Milan
Milan,
not only champions, but they got knocked out of the of Coppa Italia as well, right?
yeah, they did.
So yeah, they have all the cards in their favor this year to contend for the title. So
That's true.
no excuses on their part.
Yeah,
But then we had Hellas Verona against Lazio, 1-0 victory for Lazio.
that
Own
was
goal
comfy.
as
Yeah.
well, scored by Nelson in the 79th minute. This one was one that I didn't see live. Lazio fortunate, right, to walk away with a 1-0 victory with an own goal against Hellas Verona, which haven't been playing great. Lazio have been performing a little bit better. Certainly for this one, I expected Lazio to have a little bit more of a comfortable win.
Yeah, they had 63% of the ball, but they couldn't really do a lot with it. Only two shots on goal from Lazio. One of them resulted in that. I guess not even because it was an own goal by Nelson. So, like Lazio didn't really do a lot to deserve the win except have the ball basically more than their opponent, which is disappointing because they're playing Verona. But that's sometimes how this game goes. Lazio at least pull out the win and they're able to sneak up to the European spots, like close to the European spots, right? They're eighth place now, right behind Atalanta, but they pulled ahead of Bologna, although Bologna does have a game in hand, and so does Como and Napoli and Milan and Inter. So all those teams have a game in hand. Lazio is one of those teams that doesn't have a game in hand, but they did climb over Bologna in the standings. So good for them, but it was it could have been a better game. I mean, two shots on goal for each team is a snooze fest.
Yeah, and it seemed like that was the kind of matchup that it was. It's going to be interesting to see how Lazio can do for the rest of the season. I know Tati Castellanos is no longer there. They haven't been scoring a ton of goals this season, so let's see what Sadi and company do for the rest of the year. But that would be one concern for me now at Lazio for the rest of this season. Right, who's gonna really step up front? Even
Yeah,
though Noslin has been playing well, still I feel Tati Castellanos is a better striker.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, they can't just depend on that one single person. They really need to do a lot better in these types of situations, right? Like they, in theory,
Oh, for
on
sure,
paper,
for sure.
they should be a much bigger team, than Verona, and they should beat them
For sure, it's
comfortably.
more than just one player, but
Yeah,
certainly losing a player like Tati Castellanos, it's
definitely
gonna have an
hurts.
impact.
Yeah.
If they can't do anything else, right, still has potentially something that they can do in the market as well. But we were talking about it when were recapping Roma's matchup, right? There's not a whole lot of options at in the number 9 spot that could come in. Let's be clear. Look, that an Italian team can sign during this transfer market that can have that kind of an impact. Definitely Roma in a way better position than Lazio. I feel a player like that can certainly put Roma over the edge. Lazio, I feel you need a couple of more pieces.
Yeah, especially after Wenduzi just left. So they're gonna need to fill that gap.
Again, Dozy, another huge again loss for them. Rovella hasn't been playing to everyone's expectations, right? He was hyped up a lot, saying that he was that next thing in the national team, that next midfielder, like the potential Locatelli replacement, and it has been crickets as far as
Yeah,
Rovella this season.
yeah. It hasn't been producing. But I mean Lazio at least are getting a little bit of consistency. And again, they're getting up there. Not the most beautiful win, but it helps them in climbing those little spots and trying to at least get into the fight for a last European spots.
Then we had the key matchup of this match day 20 in the Serie A. We had Inter taking Napoli,
Yeah,
the rematch from the very dramatic first encounter
that was a
earlier
good game.
this season. Very good match. Ended in a 2-2 draw. Goal scored by Federico Di Marco in the 9th minute. Great goal from Di Marco, very similar to the goal that he scored in the previous match day, but this one was a better setup from Turam. Great finish on the second post by Di Marco with his
Yeah,
golden left foot. Then we had Scott McTominay, the reigning MVP of the Serie A, actually woke up in on this one again. Like these types of matchups just have a way of just like waking up players that have been
yeah.
kind of going through kind of a lull period,
Bro,
right?
McTominay is a different kind of animal. That dude, he can
And
do
he showed
everything.
it in this game, right? But he hadn't been performing as well as he did last season, at least consistently
Yeah,
over the beginning of this season. But we definitely saw MVP Scott McTominay uh, on full display against Inter. Really not giving Inter a whole lot of time to celebrate, scoring in the 26th minute. And the first one I gotta say was it was first of all a great pass, but Akanji should have done a lot better in covering Scott McTominay for this one. Good first time strike. Beats Sommer near post. Nothing that Sommer could do there. It was just a good cross.
Yeah, yeah,
Great finish by Scotty McTominay on this one. And then kind of the first half, I thought it's more the players on the pitch, right? It was very even. Moving into the second half, right? Hey, this is where the managers have an opportunity to put a little bit more influence in the game, right? Make some adjustments, make some tactics. Right off the bat, Napoli comes out of the gate in the second half with a chance for Hoyland that, quite frankly, he should have put away, and Inter were very lucky that he didn't score immediately coming off the halftime. But he also had a good game. We talked earlier around that the fact that he's having a great season. A couple of opportunities for Inter that some great defensive blocks from Napoli. Some just missed opportunities by Inter, which has been kind of an ongoing theme, unfortunately, for Kibu and company this season, just not being able to put games away, especially when they go ahead early. Um, but then we have the penalty in the 73rd minute. A lot of complaints around this penalty, but when you watch the
yeah,
replay, this again, VAR era, clearly steps on Mkhitaryan's foot.
yeah.
So
Conte was
that's gonna be
pissed.
that's that's gonna be called a pen all day, every day. Conte got pissed, and I actually hear, because again, going into the second half, I gave the advantage to Napoli just because I thought Conte was gonna make some adjustments that were gonna be in their favor, and Kibu was not gonna be able to do the same and counter on Inter's side. But Conte got tossed, and that's where I thought, okay, we may have a chance. We're 2-1 up on this one. Uh, Great freaking pen by Chalanoglu. Great
Yeah.
pen by Conte, who kicked the ball into the
Oh yeah,
into the stand.
that was a great, that was probably field goal in the NFL.
Great field goal by Antonio Conte, booting the
Yeah,
ball into the sand. Gets red guarded during that penalty call, but amazing finish by Shalanoglu, striking the post, uh, rippling through the side of the net. Just amazing finish. Nothing for the monster Savage to do on goal for
yeah,
Napoli on that one. Showing Inter players that took pens during the Supercopa how you're actually supposed to take pen. I think for Inter, team should be taking notes. If we go to penalty with Inter, we just got to worry about Lautaro and Chalanoglu. Everybody else is. Um, but again, didn't last long because the reigning MVP, Scotty McTominay, uh,
that was a good
came
goal
back
too,
for
man.
came back for Napoli and scored another great goal. And it was a good save, right? Because that was definitely going out of bounds. I
Zappacosta saved
doubt.
that shit. Like it was a crazy cross too. Sorry,
Yeah,
it
but
was
I
Noah
don't.
Lang actually. Noah Lang.
But I don't know if he saw actually McTominay and that's the ball that he wanted to play, or he was just trying to keep it in play. But
It was
regardless, falls
very
perfectly.
acrobatic.
Scotty McTominay, who was very focused this match day, unfortunately for Inter, who doesn't think twice and puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah,
Very even matchup. On the Inter side, right, a couple of things that I want to mention. Turam did have the assist, but he pisses me off sometimes with just his lack of effort that I see from him. Lautaro did not have a good game at all.
no,
He was a ghost for the second half and for most of the second half. Some of that props to Napoli and Conte for the way that they marked him on the pitch. But again, I would have liked to see a little bit more effort. I don't know if he was 100% on this one. But I do want to give props to Luis Enrique. I felt that Luis Enrique has been getting shit on, and I've shit on him a lot. But he had a solid game. There were a couple of situations where he found himself in trouble, surrounded by Napoli players, and he was able to get away from those situations and make the right play and the right pass. I think with him, I want him to get a little bit more confidence so I can see some of the Brazilian flair that I know he has. He's quick as hell. He's technical. He's good with the ball in his feet. I just think it's a lack of confidence that when the ball goes out to him on the right side, his first thought is not, I'm going to try to take the defender on one, right? Try to put a ball into the box or try to create an opportunity for me to take the shot on goal. I think he's immediately trying to look for options. So I think he's got to get a little bit more confidence, be a little bit more of an asshole, and just be a little bit more creative and a little bit more offensive minded.
I
But
also think Christian Kibu took too long to take Thuram and Lautaro Martinez out of the match. Like the 83rd and the 87th minute, he could have given Boni and Pio Esposito a little bit more time to have an impact in the match. You know, especially
but
Boni, who's the
that's where you
type
see
of
the
player that
difference.
runs at people, right? Like, as he if he comes in against tired legs, Boni can have a significant impact, right, in creating some terror for defenses. But if you only give him 6 minutes, like what do you even bring him in for? Like give him at least let 15, 12,
Yep.
something, you know what I mean? Like 15 minutes at least so you can get like into the rhythm of the game and then give you a couple of plays. But like 87th minute,
Which shows I think it shows a lack of confidence, unfortunately, on Kiwu's part as well, because it's something that he's been doing a lot. I feel he just waits too long to make adjustments, whether he's just not reading what those adjustments needs to be, in a timely manner, where he can make the subs with enough time to make it for them to have an impact on the game, or
yeah.
he's not confident enough to do them early and when he should be doing them. But I think again, that's why I felt going into the second half it was advantage Napoli, because hands down I'm an Inter fan, per sempre, but Conte is a way better manager than Kibu, and anybody who says otherwise is tripping. Right?
Yeah, I mean the resume shows that.
Conte doesn't need to prove anything. Kibu's
Right.
team still needs to prove himself,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think it's on him, because again I think Inter's main issue and or the biggest thing for them is the mental block, and just not being able to get over that hump, especially in big games against big teams. That's a lot of that is on the manager to be
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
coach them through that type of situation.
Exactly.
So
And it's concentration. You know, the one person that can hurt you the most is Scott McTominay. So how do you even let him get a whiff? You know what I mean?
no.
It's just the mental thing.
But good game. I'll say this
Yeah.
was a solid game. Obviously, as an Interista, we didn't get the result that we wanted, but
As a
especially with
Juventino, it
Napoli.
couldn't have gone better. Like
Yeah,
I love
Napoli
the
again.
result. Ah,
Props to Napoli. No Lukaku, no Anguissa. Right, missing some key players, still able to come away with a result in San Siro. And I'll tell you, if this game would have been away for Inter, Napoli would have definitely won this match.
I could
It's
see
just
that.
that mental block. It's just that mental block for Inter. It's going to be interesting to see if it's something that they can overcome. Not only overcome, but if they can overcome it under Kibu. Because if not, they're going to have to start blowing the kind of that nucleus up and bringing in some players that have a little bit more confidence and can bring that to the table. I
Yeah.
hope it doesn't get to that, but I think it's pretty glaring and evident, based on what they showed this season.
Yeah, but I
Definitely
mean,
have
right
the
now,
talent,
sitting on
but
first, I don't think they're gonna make any changes, right? Because you're top of the table. So
true. But if you can't get it done against the big teams, you're gonna. What's the point of being in the Champions League? We know where this is going. We're eventually gonna get to have to face a PSG, a Barcelona again, right? One of those teams. And right now, the way that they're playing, not the way that they're playing, their mental state right now, they're gonna get another ass whooping.
we'll see. I guess
But
time will
let's
tell.
see. Hopefully they can prove me wrong. But I feel there's a lot of that going around right now, within the interlocker room. Then we had Genoa, which, dude, Genoa is becoming one of my favorite teams to watch now. Ever since De Rossi took over, destroyed Cagliari 3-0. So
Yeah.
great victory for a team that was doing terrible, along with Fiorentina at the beginning of the season. Vieira sacked, right? Bringing De Rossi, you can tell that his personality, his playing style is kind of rubbing off on his squad. They've been playing with a lot more grit, have been a lot more focused. I feel a lot better strategy, better formation, better tactics under De Rossi. And it's showing. Another good result, 3-0 victory against Cagliari.
Yeah, they had less of the ball than Cagliari, but they did a lot better with it. So 7 shots on goal versus three, and Cagliari had the ball 55% of the time. So Genoa showed that it's not like in terms of possession, it's not quantity, it's quality. what you do with it when you have it. Um, and like you said, I feel like that personality is rubbing off. Like two quick goals in the 75th and 78 really didn't really give Cagliari a chance to react after the second goal. So props to De Rossi for getting his team to playing this way and getting such a like a definitive result against Cagliari, who can sometimes be hard to put away for some teams.
And getting goals from different players, from set pieces, from open play. They're just playing a lot better under De Rossi. So props to him. Good decision for their management and putting him at the helm. Now let's wait and see if they can keep that going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like Genoa is going to be one of those teams that are probably going to have a splash in the market or anything like that. I think mission for De Rossi is definitely stay in Serie A. Hopefully finish mid-table or above, which he's well under on his way to potentially doing that with this squad, which would be great given the lackluster start to the season that they had.
yeah,
Some good goals. Sucks for Cagliari. Um, always root for Cagliari. Obviously, just mainly for Esposito. Want the other Esposito brother to do well. He has been playing well this season, but not a whole lot of chances, unfortunately, created on this one. Didn't weren't able wasn't able to get on the score sheet for Cagliari. Good victory for Genoa. Then we wrap things up for match day 20 with the biggest ass whooping
yeah,
of the match day. We had Juve versus Cremonese, who have been, I would say right now, the better team because Sassuolo have been struggling a little bit more than Cremonese in the last couple of match days. But both teams have been doing pretty well for just being recently promoted this season. But very surprising on this one. 5-0 victory for Juve, another team that have five different players get on the score sheet, so that's also good for them being
yeah.
able
Well,
to
it was
find
actually four
well
players and an
four and
own
an own
goal.
goal. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But listen, this is how Spalletti wants you to play. Obviously, people are getting all super excited, and you see all these bloggers, like Balzarini, like all of these Juventus influencers, like from Italy, right? They're all getting all excited about this 5-0 win. They're saying that it hasn't happened since '96. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I wouldn't get that excited because we just beat Cremonese. You know what I mean? It's like you're not. This wasn't Napoli. This wasn't Inter. It's like slow down, slow down. This is what we are expected to do against this kind of team. That's what I'm seeing right now. A couple of things that I want to say about this game is it was a perfect execution of the game plan by Juve in every sense of the way. Cambiaso is still being an asshole and being completely casual with his passes. Sometimes he chested the ball to the keeper with the defender right behind him. And if it wasn't because the attacker right behind him. If it wasn't because the attacker just shot it right on top of Di Gregorio, like that would have been a goal in very early in the match for Cremonese. Secondly, Locatelli had a pretty decent match. You know, passing the ball around and playing as a regista, pretty decent match. But he also almost fucked up the match completely by slide tackling a player from the other team in the box. And he's lucky that he got to the ball first because otherwise that would have been a penalty, a red card probably, or maybe not because of the avoiding the double penalty thing. But it would have at least been a penalty. Cremonese would have been back in the match. Barring those two things, really good, really good goal from Jonathan David on that second goal where Turam ran like three-fourths of the field.
yeah, that was a good goal.
Locatelli
Good
started
finish.
that with a pretty good pass out of the defense. So props to Locatelli on starting that play. Great pass by Turam at the end of it to find the easy goal for Jonathan David, who needed those goals because of the confidence, right? And then we saw on the penalty that when it came to shooting the penalty, it wasn't Jonathan David this time. It was Kenan Yildiz. and he still missed it.
Oh,
Uh,
oh no, he didn't miss it, right?
well, he
Spalletti
did
called
miss it, but
it. He did the
the
yielded
keeper
thing
stopped it. Yeah,
and hit the post because like, he has to hit the post at least once every game. He's got to
that's
like
true.
fill that quota.
That's true. That's
But
crazy how
it
often he does
fell
that.
back to him and scored. Fortunately, it was a good
Yeah, he
enough
was
shot that it
lucky.
fell back on in his feet, and he was able to score from the rebound.
Yeah,
And the own goal as well, right? McKennie had his own goal, which was a nice header, but
yeah,
the own goal as well for Cremonese should have been another goal for McKennie,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Defender goes to try to save it almost across the ball, almost across the line, hits the sliding player right in the back end and goes
Yeah.
in. But that's all. That's almost a goal for McKennie, who has
Yeah,
been,
McKennie had
in my
already like
opinion, one of the
just.
best players for Juve.
Oh yeah, bro. Like I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. Like he plays everywhere, and wherever he plays, he has a positive impact. Like you can put him in almost every position in the field, and he's gonna make something happen. And he doesn't. That's the thing. Like he was actually playing in this game, right? He was supposed to be playing as a sort of like trequartista or something in the midfield
Mm.
because it was actually like Locatelli and Turan behind Miretti, McKennie, and Yildiz, and then David on front of them. Because Spalletti finally is able to play with the four defenders. So he's playing Kalulu on the right side, Cambiaso on the left, and then Kelly and Bremer
Didn't he
in
play
the
with
middle.
three? I thought he had Kalulu, Bremer, and Kelly.
No, he's playing Kalulu on the right, Cambiaso on the left, and then Kelly Bremer in the middle, and then he switches. So he can go to the three and he can switch back to the four whenever he
Mm.
wants, right? So that's how they were playing it. McKennie was playing, and then you had Locatelli and Turam kind of on like a two-man line, and then you have Miretti in front of them. McKennie playing off to the right where Conceição typically plays, and then Yildiz playing off to the left where he usually plays. And you had David as like the lone striker. But that formation, if you notice, like just gives you a ton of fluidity, especially because since McKennie is not playing in one of the central midfield roles and he's not playing as a defender, he can basically go wherever he wants. And so he was running all over that shit. Like he was everywhere, literally. And I felt like this is one of the best games I've actually seen him play in terms of just how involved he was in everything that was happening. And that's the type of player
You
that we
can
need to
tell
keep.
that he's a lot more comfortable under Spalletti. I feel that's showing on the pitch. I feel that there was definitely some drama and some tension with Tudor when Tudor
Yeah.
was running things at Juve. I
Yeah.
feel he's just because he was still playing well, but I think he's more free. He's more confident. Doesn't have to worry about that side of playing. Right, it
Yeah.
seems like he got a huge weight lifted off his shoulder, and kind of Spalletti is giving him like free range. Like, hey, you're gonna play where I need you. I'm gonna need you to do different things, and he's excelling because that's what he is. He's the Swiss Army knife. He could do
Yeah.
a lot for a team like Juve, which is crazy because they got a lot of talent at Juve. And McKennie has been one of the not only most consistent but one of their best players this season
Yeah.
for sure.
We paid almost $60 million euro for Cope Miners, and Cope Miners sits his ass on the bench and McKennie's playing. McKennie's contract is up this summer. He could literally sign with any team he wanted right now. And I don't know
That's crazy.
what the fuck Juve are waiting for in terms
That's
of
crazy, brother.
re-signing him and actually renewing his contract. It's give him
I don't
whatever
know.
the
I don't
hell
know
he
how the
wants
fans
right
are not
now.
like burning down the stadium
Bro,
asking
because
for
some
that to happen.
fans, like honestly, some Juve fans are so stupid that they feel like, oh, he's an American player, he shouldn't even be playing. Like some people say, if we had a team of the
Yeah,
quality that we're
tell
supposed
that
to
to
have,
Milan.
McKennie wouldn't be playing. And I'm like, dude, McKennie would play in any freaking team. Like the way he moves around the pitch and the like all the opportunities he creates, plus he defends, plus he's a menace when it comes to headers, plus any throwing that's on the last final third of the pitch is like a corner, like because he could throw the ball into the box, like from the sideline. Like that's something people don't even talk about. Not to mention like how dangerous he is in the box. Like he's always creating danger, always. Like I think he's so underrated. I watched a video today where it was basically saying the whole video was saying how if McKennie played at Man City or Barcelona, like everybody would just be on his dick, and he would be worth like 120 million. But since he plays
He
for
wouldn't play.
Juve, like nobody cares about him. You
I
know what I
hope that
mean?
that doesn't happen because I don't think he will get playing time at either Barcelona or Man City. I
He
think
would,
he would start probably in
yeah,
any team in Serie A, maybe not Inter,
for sure.
the way Zielinski has been playing. But any other squad in Serie A, McKennie
Bro, if you
would
see
start.
see how you just thought about it. You said he wouldn't be starting because of how Zielinski's been playing. He wouldn't even play there. Just pick whoever on your team is playing like shit, take him out, and put McKennie in his position. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is. Unless it's the goalkeeper, like you can literally just say, okay, who's playing like shit? Take him
Hey,
out.
listen,
McKennie, play there.
his contract's about to come up, right? Like if he can
Yeah.
play on the right, McKennie for
Look,
Fratesi.
he could play anywhere, but we don't we are no like Juve is in no position to trade McKennie for anything because he can
No, but
leave for
if
nothing.
if
He
he
can
leaves
leave
for
for
nothing,
nothing.
that's gonna be terrible, brother. That's
If
gonna
he
be
leaves for
terrible.
nothing, we are the dumbest fucking management
Because
in
first,
the history.
you're not gonna find a player that has
No,
his skill set and his
no,
and that quality where he could play. He's plug and playing pretty much any position on the bench.
exactly, exactly,
So
exactly.
good luck if he leaves for nothing, especially knowing that more than likely it's going to be very hard for Juve to keep Yildiz long term because we know that some of the bigger teams from other leagues with a lot of money are going to start splashing some money. And I feel Juve. You were talking about Cambiaso earlier. I think they kind of missed a pretty big opportunity to get like 60, 65 million
They
from
should have
Man
sold
City
Cambiaso
for
if that was a
Cambiaso.
real offer.
Yeah, that was a big opportunity because he's just been inconsistent. We know he has the quality. He's just
I don't
compared
think
to
his
Yildiz,
head
compared to
is into
McKenny,
it.
it's like you're not worth that as much, especially Yildiz. So Yildiz is just a freaking animal.
Yeah. And I feel like whenever Cabal comes in for Cambiaso, like he's making some solid contributions up front as well. Because Cabal is a hard player to deal with for a defender because he is a defender, but he also really fast and very technical. So he could get forward and be an attacking threat, as we've already seen. Like he already scored a goal with a header. So he's a tall dude in the box too. Like you could throw across from the opposite side, and he becomes very dangerous. So I don't know. Cambiaso, I think, is also good because he's kind of a jack of all trades in the sense that he can play left back, right back, left mid, right mid, or as like a kind of like a midfielder, like a mezzala in like a three-man midfield. So he can play all those positions, but honestly, I don't think he does it as well as McKennie does, like when he's floating around positions. I think Cambiaso is more of
Yeah,
like
dude.
he's
I've
very
been honestly
inconsistent
I've
from
been
like a
more impressed with
psychological perspective.
Miretti. Honestly,
Miretti
I've been more
Miretti
impressed
played an
with Miretti.
amazing game. Miretti played an amazing game. He
Yeah.
showed he had a lot of vision, like great passing, great positioning, like always offensively, always creating a passing lane for somebody. I love the way he's been playing lately. And if he's gonna continue playing like that, honestly, Conceição should make himself comfortable on the bench. I know Conceição is like a very explosive player, but the thing that Miretti gives you that Conceição doesn't is when we don't have the ball, Miretti is way more of a defensive presence, like a body coming back and winning the ball back than Conceição is.
But I think that actually creates kind of some not problems because it's not a problem to have too many good players, but right, if Miretti's starting, you're bringing definitely your first option off the bench will more than likely and end up being Conceição, right? Then Segrova has been that player because he's not 100% from a fitness standpoint that you have been bringing off the bench to kind of be the difference maker. So if you have Miretti starting, you have Conceição on the bench, you have Segrova, both of them playing the same position, right? Don't you feel that that's going to be a situation where probably more than likely is going to be Conceição who's going to get pissed and start complaining about playing time because it wouldn't be the first time that he's done it.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely do that because Conceição is an amazing player, but from a personality perspective, you can kind of tell like he's a little snooty bitch. Like he will complain about everything, like anything, even when things are going his way. Like you start yelling, like he'll kick it and the ball go outside and he start yelling at the ball or something. Like he's gonna create problems if he's not starting, right? Because they brought him to start basically. So I think they'll find a way that he starts, but if Miretti keeps playing like this and Spalletti's like, listen, I need Miretti to be that trequartista, to create that link between the midfield and the attackers, then Conceição is gonna have to be comfortable sitting his ass down because the other thing is the guy who's playing there right now, the guy who actually really sat Conceição down. Well, Conceição is injured, that's why he's not playing. But McKennie it was playing where Conceição would be playing. Miretti was playing where McKennie would be playing. If Conceição is healthy, what I assume would happen is McKennie would still be playing. Miretti would be on the bench. Conceição would be on the field. But based on what we saw against Cremonese, I think the next match we're still gonna see Miretti in the midfield and probably McKennie still be that kind of like free offensive role that he was doing. And it should be, and that's what I would keep doing because it just gives you the advantage of McKennie can go create a numerical advantage in any position of the field that you need it, that you need him to do that. If he's playing in a position where he doesn't really have any set defensive responsibilities.
Yeah. And I think we're seeing, right, and we talked about it like earlier in the season before Bremer got injured, right, that him being back and being back at 100%, it feels like every match he's getting better, right? Another shutout for Juve
Yeah.
and their defense, but
Hmm.
he gives them that kind of solid player that they can rely on in the back that gives those midfielders and attacking players more freedom to push
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that has to
Confidence.
do with it of why you are creating more chances, why they're scoring more goals, because now they have that presence in Bremen back in their defensive line where they can focus on attacking a lot more.
Yeah, they haven't lost a match since he's been back. So that tells you a lot. You know what I mean? Oh,
And I believe before he got injured, you had only conceded like I think it was one goal or no
one
goals.
goal. Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean,
obviously
he's
he's a
big deal.
huge decision maker, right? We saw freaking Spalletti trying different things like putting freaking cup miners as a CB, which that was never going to work long term. Hey, but he's been trying things. I give him props. He's been trying things. He brought Miretti. He's giving Miretti more time. That's played a big role in how Juventus have been doing.
Yeah,
McKennie, we talked about it. He's been playing a lot better under Spalletti. Jonathan David has been a lot more confident. Now has actually scoring goals.
he had a
It's
great
going to be
game.
interesting to see if he could have the same effect on Openda and you can start getting some goals and some productivity from Openda as well.
You'll
It's
see
going to
it.
be interesting.
Yeah, I think things are starting to flow for you. You can tell by just the way they've been approaching the last couple of matches. Because even the Lecce match, which they drew, they completely dominated that, and they could have easily scored like 3, 4 goals. It just like things weren't, kind of flowing from a finishing perspective. But I think if they continue playing this type of way, they're gonna be a problem for a lot of the teams. And as long as they can beat the smaller teams and hold their own against the big ones, they should be in a good spot to at least get European qualification. Maybe even better than that. Who knows?
Second place. They're going to finish second place.
Behind Napoli.
Third. I told you. I called it at the beginning of the season. It's going to be Inter, Juve, Napoli, Milan.
Well, we'll see. We're still it's still up for
And
grabs.
Como. And Como's going to end the fifth
Right,
behind the
right now it's
Juventus.
actually looking like how I kind of called it, which is Inter, Milan, Napoli, Juve, which but we'll see,
It's going to
we'll
be
see.
interesting with the second half. With let's see how the Champions League plays out for teams as well. But solid victory for Juve, right? Freaking 5-0 beat down.
Yeah,
Another clean sheet for the squad. Another victory for Spalletti. I feel like you said. I feel that you are starting to turn things around. Are starting to uh, kind of play better as a unit. Kind of figure out what formation and what's their kind of go-to starting lineup. That's where it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that Conceição Miretti kind of situation as well. Because if it's working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
exactly. And with this game, Juve put themselves behind Inter as the second best offense of the league with 32 goals scored. So I think we're gonna see Juve be a lot more consistent in the way that they attack these matches, especially against these smaller teams. let's see what's in
I
store for the next match day and see
yeah,
what
I think
what's
the
gonna
key
be
for
going
you
on.
is going to be honestly is going to be what it's been last couple of season, and it's going to come down to can Bremer stay healthy. Honestly,
True. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a big. That's gonna be a big factor. No, no. I mean, no doubt.
matchups next match day 21.
Kind of crappy, isn't it?
No big key kind of matchups, right? Lazio Como is an interesting one. Obviously,
Yeah, it's
Milan
probably
have not been
the
doing
best
well,
one.
so even though they're playing Lazio, let's see what they can do. Roma Torino
Lecce,
should be interesting.
Bologna,
Bologna
Fiorentina as well.
Fiorentina, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that one
I
should be a
think
good one,
those.
right? Fiorentina keep battling, right? They're the wounded animal, which they're gonna be a tough match for anybody moving forward.
Yeah,
Inter
because of the
Udinese,
quality
right?
too.
Udinese was able to beat Inter the first time they met this season. Inter really struggled to deal with Udinese's physicality. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out and if Inter can get their revenge or it's more of the same. On this one, Pisa had a good game last match day playing against Atalanta. Let's see what they can do against a little bit more informed and better squad. Napoli Sassuolo, I think that will probably be a little bit lopsided based on Sassuolo's last couple of performances.
Yeah, but you never know.
Se-
Napoli's another team that sometimes comes in and you're like, what the hell are they doing? And they have to score in the 95th. You know?
Juve Cagliari, right? Genoa just destroying. That's not a good sign for Cagliari. You just got destroyed by Genoa, and you have to face a Juve squad who just got put five,
Yeah,
just through freaking Cremonese as well, who have been playing a lot better than Cagliari this season. So,
yeah, yeah. We'll see. Hopefully, you can
woo.
continue the run. Let's see
Yeah,
how
I
that
think
goes.
that they're gonna keep it going. One thing I believe that in between, if I'm not mistaken, we have the makeup kind of matches as well. We have Napoli Parma playing tomorrow.
Oh
We have
yeah, that's
Inter
true.
Lecce playing tomorrow as well. Verona playing against Bologna, and the most interesting one I actually feel is going to be Milan Como. Again, Milan kind of coming off not the best results in the last couple of match days, playing a good Como side. So that one is gonna be an interesting match to see on Thursday for sure. I think
Yeah.
Napoli, Inter, and Bologna should get the job done in their respective matches. That means that there is gonna be a little bit more of a gap at the top of the table, but still very competitive given the results this past match day with Napoli, Inter, and Milan all dropping points and Juventus getting that 5-0 victory.
100%.
Cool deal. Appreciate everybody joining us for another recap. Matchday 20 Serie Addicts. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name's Marco Romano. With me, as always, Tito Yan.
Yeah.
We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace out, people.